Hello, ladies and gents. It's me, ReaperSteve, and I'm joined by the wonderful Jammer. How you doing, Jammer?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. How about you?
Not bad, mate. Tired after yesterday, to be completely honest with you.
True.
I'm very much looking forward to having a consecutive couple of days off before going to Epic Land this weekend. I know obviously both of us are at Epic, so we're gonna meet for the first time as well. Actually, meet physically in person, which is
Uh-huh.
it's probably scary for you more than me. A scary concept, regardless. But yeah, we're looking forward to casting tonight's game. We have the new start of the new ESEA season, season 39 Jammer. I
Indeed.
think it's going to be a good season, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm nowhere near the age of 39, but I would imagine when you get to that point, you're well refined and well established within your own right. So you really should be like a fine wine at that point, right?
I don't know if that's how it works, but you
No.
know what? I'm right there with you. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that comes through.
It comes to fruition at some point.
Yeah.
Um, Me and Jammer have been really busy since the last ESEA season finished. We've done what? William Hill Cup. We've done like two-bit tournaments in between and William Hill Cup. Um, just picking up games here, there, and everywhere, which is kind of nice, obviously, because we both enjoy doing that. But it's nice to actually be back with like a stable full season of games to jump into. Tonight we're going to be covering Esports Wales Yar versus Baltic Coast. To give you a brief overview, Jammer, because for a change I've done a bit more research than you, which surprised the hell out of me when you first mentioned it a second ago. Baltic Coast have won both their previous games. One actually today. They beat Forzabi, sorry, 16-1 on Mirage. That
Yes.
was at 5 o'clock, so within the last 2 hours they've won it. They played against Red Hot on the 22nd, 2 days ago, and they beat them 16-4 on Mirage. So this is a team you don't want to get on Mirage by the looks of things, to be honest with you, Chama. They appear to be very well accustomed to it. I mean, it is a scrim map, though, isn't it, in fairness? The history of this team, they have played in Season 38 in the Open. Didn't progress into the next level. I think they only managed to get one game out of their postseason. So their postseason wasn't the best. However, to give you a bit of history for them on Vertigo, because that's the map that we're playing tonight or covering. On Vertigo, they have one win. Yeah, one win in total. Out of the 16 games they played last time round, they went on to Vertigo not once, not twice, not three times, not four times. Yeah, four times they went to Vertigo, and they only won once. So bit of a shaky map for them maybe, and even then that map went 16-14, so it's a close map for them by the looks of things. I think we're ready on knife round though, Jammer.
We are. I'm so hyped to get a knife check because we've
I
been
know
deprived of one in the other tournaments that we've done recently.
we have it's
Um,
been weird, right? Because obviously you and I like to do knife check and see what players have got and what we're working with, and yesterday we really wanted it and the production crew wouldn't let us have it. It sucked, man. I like it. What do you think of the Slato? I mean, it's not my brand of knife, personally.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's not my favorite. I can see its use as a knife, and sure, it looks all right, but there's just not enough surface area to appreciate the patterns that you throw on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Potter's now, his one. Crimson looks okay with it. I'll be honest, I think it's probably one of the very few knives where I kind of like Crimson on it.
Or
Apart
like
from
the
maybe the
ruby.
M9. Yeah, yeah. I've called it Crimson, but it's not Crimson Web, is it? It is Ruby, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting my knife skins mixed up here, Jammer. But I kind of
Oh,
like.
disgraceful.
I know, terrible of me. Um, I actually contemplated getting a new one for LAN, and then remembered that I'm going to LAN not to play, but to commentate and do stage stuff. So there's
Yeah,
no point in
yeah.
getting a knife, to be honest, because I'm not going to show it off on LAN, kind of thing. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Kind of like Stiletto. But anyway, games. Let's have a look.
yeah, Tree, he managed to be very cheeky right there, and he spots out the majority of the team. You can fall back and call the rotation, so Oh, ER will be in position, but Tree, he's on an island right now, and he needs to connect some heads. He's got one, got two, and he's going to build in for a little bit more as the rest of the team ratifies around him. But, oh, he's caught out. That's, I think that's Nazi? Or, no, that's Stacks. That Stacks is the one who caught those two players out. It is a 3 versus 2 on the retake, as IRX has a kit. Oh, and that's a nice flashbang to get the entry. Bit of space gain. They can use that smoke. And in fact, they do. There's the tap going through. Zyrex, he's going to stick it. Spam's not connecting. Players protecting him. Anchor not going to connect. And that's not actually Anchor. That's Malinov. So the names are a bit messed up.
Yeah, I have the what's it called, names turned on. So if they've got weird names or whatever, it changes them. I don't know why. It's been a while since I jumped into spectator game jammer, so you know we're gonna have to just grim and bear with it more than anything. I shall fix that in a second. We'll deal with that in a moment. But no, it was a good good round from Zyrex. In fairness, that pot flash helped him out massively. He was able to get into sight. The minute he was able to get in, he quickly dominated, popped that smoke down, and as you said, he stuck it. And you know, it takes a lot of cojones just to stick it in that sort of scenario where you are being sprayed down by another player. Yeah, it was good to see that he kind of trusted his teammates around him to keep him, you know, protected well and covered quite well. What do you make of the spy though from Baltic Coast? I mean, 3 AKs off the back of a round loss. You know, it's kind of shaky at best if you lose this round against MP9s, but I mean, it's pretty much like a big round for them to buy up into, go straight into, right?
Yeah, I think the if part of that sentence is the perfect comeuppance for, you know, summing it up. Like, the AKs are great if you make it work. There's a lack of utility, so you just need to hit your shots, but they have the firepower advantage. Wild, though, he'll spot him out, rotates back, and if these MP9s can get into good angles and hold their ground, they can actually pull this off. It is going to be a tough task because we know Baltic Coast have some aimers. Oh, there's some good picks. Tree and Wild doubling up on their kills, but there we go. They will finally fall. Potters, though, can rotate in, and it is just going to be left onto Malinov. 1 versus 3, and this is exactly the downfall of an AK-4 spy. You might have the firepower, but these MP9s can rotate into positions that are just too strong to overcome, and, well, they've not overcome them yet, but they've put on a good standing so far.
This is the thing, you know, Potter's, as much as he's low HP, with that AK and the one-tap potential of it, you know, he can really put in some work, especially if Tree's going to give him the call, which he does. He'll swing, and that's the end of that round. Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what I was trying to say, Jammer, is that, you know, yes, buying up an AK into the second round, it can sometimes be, you know, work quite well in your favor, especially if you're going up against kind of a weak side CT round, or weak side CT. Yeah. But if you've got a good team which are happy to kind of build up around the MP9 and, you know, they're able to get, they're not afraid to get their hands dirty, get up close and personal with it, this is where you suffer quite massively, and Baltic Coast have suffered quite drastically in that round. We should see 2 or 3 ecos off the back of that, I would imagine.
Probably so, but we're in a deco round here. There's no armor, no nades. So Baltic Coast just need to connect some bullets. Cody being warded away, but he'll run away with a kill. And Zyrex, man on a mission on this B site, spots out 1 player, and even spots 2. He's playing with fire right now, but luckily gonna be getting away with it. Who's not gonna get away with it is Tree. He gets taken out. I need to look down at my notes to see that is Stacks with an opener, and you know they've got a little bit of chip damage to work with. Wild will get the info, and that's imperative. If he can stay alive now, be set up for success by the rest of his teammates, then it should be easy enough. However, the Deagles have done a bit of work, and this is a very dangerous position for Cody G to be in. Malinov, he's going to get an entry onto 1, tries to swivel for Wild. Not connecting, but this is getting dangerously close. Nice setup for the flashbang, and there's some conversion. It is just going to be Nazi left, and he gets eliminated in the back lines. Zyrex to close things out.
Yeah, Wild did a hell of a round there. I mean, he's tucked in quite deep at the top of the scaffolding. He's got a really good position. He's got, you know, he is on an island essentially if he does get pushed, and you know we've seen it before with these 3 Deags. You know, 4 Deags will push up on a player at that position, and you have to fight to survive. And sometimes potentially having that M4 A1S isn't the real, you know, isn't the best of options to be in. But he makes it work. He swings out, gets the trade off, and puts himself in a good position to get in for and also secure frags for his teammates.
Oh, nice spam going through for Nazi, and Cody G gets eliminated without even seeing anyone. I'm not sure if this SG buy was purposely bought, but you know what? It's in the server now, and we're going to rock with it. I love that. Some counter aggressions from Yarn. This is exactly the kind of push pull you want to see. Oh, Wild. And then Wild Spot only gets one, swings out a bit recklessly, and he gets taken out. Tree trying to make up the difference. Oh, there's the difference. 2 kills, and that's shut down the round. He's trying to stay alive. Oh, gets a third. Oh, and a fourth. What's he doing? Tree, 4K, closing out for the fourth.
This Yar team, man. I mean, like, we said this at the end of last season, right? We were talking about Team Yar, we talked about Team Tan, we were talking about how we wanted to see Yar kind of build themselves up a little bit more, have that bit more of a, give themselves a lot more options, you know, and kind of like build on their own strengths. And that is just showing you the strengths of Team Yar. They've got this individual power that they can really slam into the backlines of Baltic Coast and really be up close and personal with it. And Tree being the player that he is, you know, that is just exactly what you want. I think him and Wild are going to be the ones to watch out for this season. Obviously, we're very early on. This is only the second game for Yar, but nonetheless, it's already heating up quite nicely, Jammer.
Yeah, it really is. This is some B-side pressure. Again, a pistol buy, but they've got an entry onto Zyrex, and oh, Potters is going to fall as well. Tree can make it 1, but there's a couple more to find, and the util, oh, it's just a little bit missing. It is going to be a retake, 3 versus 4, but ER, they have a firepower advantage and health advantage moving into this. Bit of util to work around, but they need to use it effectively and not be caught out. These are some quality players on the Russian side, and oh, there's a quality kill to entry. That's a second, and that's just going to be all said and done. Baltic Coast, but their first round on the board.
It's a well-worked round for them as well. I mean, you know, a lot can be said about that quick push, you know, up on towards B ramp. Getting yourself up that staircase is always a nightmare, especially if you're running into the likes of a team with a full stack of AKs that can really lock in that defense at the top of staircase. But they seem to make it work. You know, it almost felt like there was a misstep from Yar kind of backing themselves too early out of that fight. And it just gave Baltic Coast a bit of room to maneuver with, a bit more room to work with. And as soon as they got that, they just dominated off the back of it. So Yar are going to have to be very careful about that. You know, not allowing a team like this that much space to kind of envelop them with.
Yeah, and the way the trades have been going so far, it's forced Yar into this eco buy. You saw Tree going for a bit extra, you know, like pushing through ladder room. It's not advisable in a lot of scenarios, but he can make it work here. Or I wouldn't say this is, yeah. That's going to be a quick elimination. And that's Infi, the star player from the previous round, making the difference in this one. Potter's trying to go for a re-aggression. No trade available for him. Infi doubling up on his kills, and it will be the rest of the Baltic Coast players collapsing onto the A side. Oh, okay. All right, Zyrex. I didn't know you had that in the bag. If you can do a little bit more of that, maybe in the later rounds, then that will be a much needed effort. But for this round, I might say it's a bit too tall of a task.
Yeah, it would certainly feel that way. Yeah, I was going to say it would certainly feel that way. But, I mean, again, there's that little bit of extra room for Baltic Coast to maneuver with. And they seem like they're the sort of side that are really, you know, really take full advantage of it. Big buy round coming in from Yardo Jammer, and I really want to see how these guys kind of spread themselves out a little bit. They've got not a lot of utility to work with spread across 3 of the players, so it's going to be really imperative that Potters is in a good position to really make those flashbangs work. Same for Cody as well.
Yeah, another key factor, I think this T-side AWPing on Vertigo, it's quite underrated right now because a couple of teams are shying away from it. Wild gets an entry, interrupting. Oh, okay, well, it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to interrupt me. That's a initial good entry from Yar, but they try and, you know, double down on that, and it just leads to their downfall because Baltic Coast, they're just waiting. They're waiting with open arms for those trades, and suddenly it's a precarious spot for Yar. They're just trying to force everything, and Baltic Coast are just sitting there waiting for this to happen. This is really strong play from the Russian squad.
Yeah, again, it's that position from Wild, right? I mean, you are pretty much in a one. Oh, well, I'm going to let Stacks finish things off here because Potters runs up into him, unfortunately, trying to get into sight on position. And yeah, I think Zyrex is going to have to just leave that fight, basically, keep that AWP for the next round. Pocket AWP, and hopefully he can survive. mean, he's in a good position here to defend against Nazi, right? That's the good thing about this situation. But it's whether Nazi gets some teammates to help him push in with it. I'm actually going to watch Nazi to see what he does here, to be honest. He seems to be hunting for it, right? I mean, this is the logical place that you would be if you're a CT running from a group.
Well,
That box
seems like they have the read. They've just collapsed around him, and it's
yeah.
going to be Malinov to lock it in. We thought everyone was going to get it, but yeah, it is going to be an unfortunate spot now for VR because they don't have enough economy behind this to force up again. That was their chance. Not a last chance saloon, but kind of a mid chance because they were trying to get back into things. Now in round 8, 4-3, on the verge of 4-4, Baltic Coast showing their class.
Stax has got a rust coat Slater, just saying. Big up the rust coat mafia. Yeah. Anyway,
I think that's the worst combinations.
I do not care what you say. Rust coat is legit the best skin on the world. Like,
he's named it Tetanus as well.
Yeah, he's named it Tetanus. Yeah, I caught that. Yeah, I mean, that was the big kind of round for Yar, right? They didn't make it work, unfortunately, and this is why we're in this scenario where they have this, they have the PT50s out. You have a Deeks to the left in the fight with Cody. Cody's going to have to get himself into a good position, but him versus that AWP, I don't favour it, unfortunately, and he'll connect the first and the second through wall as well, also. It was almost like that round was like a get it out of the way round for them, if that makes sense, Jammer, with the PT50s.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one to throw away and kind of move on from. One thing that I came into this matchup wondering, Cody G, perhaps you can, be reminded of his not namesake, but there's a player that exists called Jamie G, and we've seen the kind of high ceiling out of that kind of player. I was wondering if that's a cheat code, just stick a G on the end of your name and you become good.
I just hope for the best, though.
Yeah, he's just trying to put that through. I want to see a performance, that's up to Jamie G standards right here, because he's on an island, he gets one, tries to retreat back, and he'll be able to escape, so at least evens up the man-on-man scenario. And now Baltic Coast, they're going to sit passive again, waiting for mistakes to be made, but they're not going to make them this time, sorry.
No. Yeah, it does feel like they're waiting that passive game up quite... get my words up here. They've waited out quite a fair bit with the passive game, and it looks like Yara have kind of, they've not been sucked into that black hole realization of like pushing into AK's waiting, because that's what black hole are tending to favour more often than not. But then the slowdown game, it's never really been Esports Wales Yara's kind of forte. There will be little mistakes here and there, but it doesn't feel like that's happening so far. Wild is like flicking back and forward, going, let me go, let me at him, come on, coach. Send me in, tap me in, boys, let's go. He's ready to get frags off the back of that initial there. But Cody G has tapped all that damage out, unfortunately, and he's gonna have to sit back and just watch. Never mind, he's gonna have to watch from the bleachers. He's spawned, opted out of this game, and Wild will swing to try to get a trade out of it. Malinov will be the man to fall. 3v2, not a lot of HP to work with for Yar, even less now with Wild dropping out of it, and it's 2v2. But they've got all that site control built up, and with an AWP covering you, the bomb plant is definitely going to come in.
Well, bomb plant is locked in. It's going to be Nazi and Heist to hold things off, and these are two quality players. There's an orphan play, but the utility is so good from Yar so far. They need to get that bomb tapped, and that's the kit being taken out. Potters has to do everything, gets one trade in the short area, but he's mollied off. And things are getting a little bit awkward because Nazi, he's taken the initiative. There's a kit down, he's not going to pick it up. Oh, that's an interesting peek, and that's an interesting pick to close things out. Nazi with a 3k. That's a bit too strong, but Yard made a couple of critical mistakes there, Nick. I noticed Wild was sitting on short with a molly at 20 seconds left. Just throw it down anywhere, even on site, and it just at least delays the time and buys your teammates a bit of space. But you know what? It's a heat of the moment thing.
Gives you that 5-6 seconds to work with. That puts you down to what? Call it 6 seconds. It gives you 14 seconds left on the clock for them to try and work out, how they're going to get into site. But by that point, you can already remaneuver yourself, reposition. You could have even taken that short control aggressive after popping the molly down. He's bought his teammates the time, as you said, and that's imperative more than anything.
Yeah,
we've got to try and work these eco rounds in a little bit better from Yar. Taking that extra bit of damage is not really helping them. Like this, Cyrex trying to play the black back lines. walking into AK. It's the second time that we've seen that happen from him on an equal round, where he's trying to get that little bit of an extra edge over Baltic Coast, but they're just too clever for that slow gameplay.
Yeah, and this is a perfectly designed play from Baltic Coast. They've stacked up purposefully around A. They're just making a lot of noise, using a lot of utility to pull the rotations over, try and get that backline to come through. And they just wait so patiently for that push, that mistake to come through. And based off that, you can tell, hey, we've made so much noise here. We've killed the rotation. We could just rotate out of here and, try and take an advantage. And that's exactly what they do, playing the mind games. And they're just out, maneuvering ER right now.
Pause is going to come into effect, though. I would imagine that might be a Esports Wales pause. Obviously, we don't know. I should probably add that. Getting back into the swing of things, Jam, already. It's only our first one for ESEA. So in ESEA, we don't see who's paused, which is why we don't know who's paused it, and I couldn't tell you. But I would imagine it will be a Yar pause to give themselves perhaps a bit of a reset. Maybe talk to coach, figure out what the game plan is going to be like moving forward for the rest of this game. Obviously, this now means that Baltic Coast are 2 up ahead of them. They are going to do a full buy into this round, and they've got good utility to work with from Yar's perspective. But it just feels like, in these rounds where they are bitty rounds, where they're kind of, they're tapped out as far as utility and as far as economy is concerned, they need to start taking at least 2 or 3 players down from Baltic Coast, because you can see how much their economy swelled over the last 4 rounds, Jammer.
Yeah, there's a change of pace from Baltic Coast as well. This is, the first buy-on-buy round that we've seen for a while. Cody G on the AWP. I think that's the first time we've seen him with it as well. So hopefully he can chime off. I think Tree was previously the AWPer. I might be wrong with that. But,
I think
it seems
you're
like
right.
he forfeited that position. You know what? This is exactly the time and place that we want to see how these players can perform. Oh, this is the backline boost. Oh, Director's going to go away from it. Doesn't matter. There's a battle on A ramp, and it seems like Yar came out on top. The middle contention is now going to be where we focus our eyes, but we're going to watch Malinov pick up the bomb instead, because
what's going on with Auto Director? Yeah. I'm just like, come on, jeez, dude. There's so much more going on in this game, and Auto Director's just like, you can watch Tree run around A site, but there's no one anywhere near him.
Oh, a timing.
Timing, yeah.
Just walked past Cody G, and he's going to be through elevator. Tree saw it, can't convert the kill, and that's such an unfortunate kill. 3 versus 4 still. But let's be reminded, this was a 3 versus 5. Now a 3-on-3. Oh, 3-on-2. This is falling apart. ER, they're losing their bearings, and suddenly it's all gone wrong. Zyrex needs to lock things down, but he's been wrapped upon, and he's got caught off surprise. Gets 1, gets 2. That's an overperformance. Wild now being set up in a 1 versus 1. Malinov picked up the bomb, locks it in, and now it's all going to be on who sees each other first. Wild can't win it. That's a nice adjustment, and 7-4 Baltic Coast. They're showing, they're a pretty big monster in this game.
The lack of utility use there by Wild is quite telling. He had 2 flashbangs to work with in that round. He dry peeks more or less into the back of B site. I just think, at least with a flash, even if it's not, well directed, it's just to cause that little bit of a diversion, so to speak. Drag the eyes and the attention away of the player. It might have given him a little bit more room to maneuver to get onto side, but alas, not the case. Nozzy will be the man to finish off Zyrex, however. Again, trying to play that back lines, but it's just not working successfully.
Yeah.
Baltic, you said are playing like a monster team at the minute, and they genuinely are.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, they're gunning to go a bit further than they went last season on this season already. You said they had a lack of vertigo wins on this match, and I think that's really tells the tale of how they've gone back, looked at their mistakes, and they tried to fix them. Tree, he's going to be the only one to answer back for ER as the rest of his teammates fall. Cody G is there with him as well. It seems like a matter of time, and the Deagle isn't going to connect today. Cody G, this is a time to come alive. If you get this 1 versus 4, I'm going to lose my mind. Not going to happen though, as Heist locks it in. You know what? I'm like probing this caster curse to come and help us, but it's just not going to work, is it, mate?
I don't think it is, mate, to be honest with you. I think we're in that. I think we're having we're in that kind of scenario of, like, as much as you and I want to cast a curse Baltic Coast, they seem to have some sort of voodoo doll or something along those lines that's giving them that little bit of extra protection.
Oh no. Well, it's not all over just yet. Baltic Coast, they're on 8 rounds, and it might not be the ideal spot, but there's still a couple rounds left for Yar to recover the situation. 8-7 would be an ideal scoreline. But Baltic Coast, they're going to do what they can to, well, put some more rounds on their board. Wild
Yeah.
getting chipped, and this is again, a slower round from Baltic Coast, just waiting for Yard to make a mistake. That's a nice boost. Cody, you've been caught out. The nade, not going to connect. Cody, lucky to get away with that one, and I feel like, he's been caught off guard quite a lot in this matchup, not having the best alert. Wild goes for a regression. That's not going to work, and oh no, Yar, they're falling at the hands of these players. Stacks will go down eventually, and oh, bomb control actually might be gifted, but no, Potter not going to realize it. He falls back, and that will be a round forfeited in all likely scenarios. I want to go back for a moment
Mm-hmm.
to that 1v1, and you were talking about the flash usage by Wild.
Yeah.
I just want to, take a moment and use my coach brain and explain to you why you shouldn't have used flash there. And we'll
Okay.
see if
Yeah. All right
we'll see
then.
if I
I
change
see
my mind.
this. I see what this
All
is. Where this is going. This is teach Reaper moment, basically. That's what we're kicking into now.
CS:GO 101 in
Yeah.
Esports Wales' Twitch channel. But okay, so a 1v1 there, right? Where Wild, sure, he's given his position away earlier on in the round, but not so much in the last, 15, 20 seconds or so. Means
Mm.
that he could be literally anywhere on the map. And
Yeah.
I think it was Malinov who planted the bomb. He has
Mm.
no idea whether Wild is, rotating in from the backlines or, coming from Guardian, whatever this boost is called, or CT. There's a
Yeah.
plethora of opportunities, and it is just a timing game. If he uses that flash, he gives an indication of about where he's approaching from. And
Oh.
okay, Potters, he's gonna save the AK, or at least prospectively do so with 5 health. Heist not going to be willing to give up the AWP, so there we go. We have an AK into the next round, and he can drop one. He can drop an AWP over to Cody. They can buy.
Yeah. Could in theory. It's going to go M4. They're not going to go up. They're going to go full rifle set.
It's not feeling
Okay.
the AWP today, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't know. I mean, CT AWP on this map is shaky for me, at least anyway. I know obviously you probably disagree with that, but I feel like, yeah, I know you would. I don't know. I feel I couldn't really make the decision as of yet without seeing the team play for a little bit more.
True. Yeah, that's
I feel like, because obviously we need to take into consideration is that we are seeing 3 new players more or less. I mean, Cody G isn't new to Esports Wales as such, but back in the squad, Wild is a new player into the squad. Potters is also a new player into the squad. Tree and Zyrex are the only 2 that have really played consistently together throughout the majority of last season as well. So yeah, it's kind of like I can't say for definite because of the new additions into it, but I mean I'm going to be wrong as well, regardless of what I say. To be honest, with you, Jana. This is why I reinstalled CS 1.6 and CS Source last night.
Oh really?
I did, yeah. I hit a nostalgia vibe, didn't I? I sent you a video at like 2 o'clock in the morning,
yeah.
going this video hit different, and then reinstalled. It's just Cody should be looking for that. I mean, that's an open kill, right? Like,
should be. There's an open kill. Potters has more to do. Can't do it. Nozzy with the AWP closing things out, and Tree, former AWPer on Yar, he's gonna swing out, tag him down to 2 health. That's not an ideal spot. 1 versus 3 on the cards. Trying to go for it or not get backstabbed. Baits out the shot, tries to swing. The miss goes with the bullets, and there we go. All right. That was a bit of an orthodox round, but you know what? It's going to fall to Baltic Coast. Did I convert you with the flash in the 1v1, by the way?
yes, you did. Yeah.
Okay.
I hate you for it, but I agree with you at the same time.
Everyone's got everything to learn. I don't know a lot about this game, and we need to pick up the learning whenever we can.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll give you that. Actually, like it's good to obviously have a different insight into it. Like, my mentality would be okay. I'd pop flash there, or I'd throw flash towards the back of B site towards T ramp, just to give myself that little bit of an opportunity to get in without really being, too. Oh, that's factory smoke. It's been too obvious. I don't know how he knew.
I think, I mean, I don't know if he was able to see something different from a spectator, but it might have also been the sound cue.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, that's a kill for Baltic Coast nonetheless. However, you got it, and
Mm.
so oh wait, okay. I just want to talk about Potter pushing through ladder room, and this could be a timely backstab. There's only 2 players over towards the A site, so if they can just delay this Russian side time enough for Potter to come in the back lines. Wild's doing exactly the right thing. That's 2 kills. Potter can activate, but he gets taken out. I don't know why they're prepared for that. I don't know how they're prepared for it. But oh, okay, Cody, spot the sandbags player, please. No, he
Oh
gets
no.
taken out. It's all onto Tree, and he's got a 1 versus 2 to come up against Heist and Nozzy. They've won, but all of their 1 versus 2 situations so far. They might not win this one though.
Come on,
Tree
Tree.
spots out the last player as well. The flash is timely. Won't catch it. It's not a flash, it's a decoy. Nozzy knows more than me. Tree, though, he's just going to be sitting patiently. Time's ticking down. Nozzy gets a move on. The pressure's on him. It's whether Tree crumbles. Waiting patiently for now. 15 seconds. Now the pressure's getting to him. Nozzy moving round. He might just go for the kill here. Picks up bomb. 8, 7. Oh, and he
Oh my
connects just in the
days.
nick of time. Even has time to plant, and that's going to be the end of the half. 11-4 to Baltic Coast.
Yeah, that half is. There's a couple of kills in that half where you're just like, wow, game sense is like unbelievable. I think playtime is, or playing time in that scenario was definitely the right thing to do from Tree's perspective. But yeah, you're right. He always has to go for the kill, right? There's no way that he's not going to go for the kill.
Yeah, I think like there's no real huge mistake there, but
No, there's
if you're
not.
gonna go for time, you've got to at least have the info that it's an AWP, and when you know
Yeah.
it's an AWP, you can always jiggle. You know, like there's always that opportunity to give yourself, you know, a baiting out or some sort of chance in it. But
Do you
again,
mean
in that
there's always
counter
that
scenario,
opportunity? Sorry.
I hate you so.
Yeah, I hate myself as well.
But
It's all
yeah,
good.
you know, I say you can jiggle there, and that's with the time getting low. If he stands up, he's just gonna get
Yeah.
ripped out the server with the AWP. So honestly, no perfect way to play that. Unfortunate not to win it, and so Baltic Coast, they're rocking with a real strong advantage.
Yeah, they really are. Big Pistol have to be a win for Esports Wales. Yeah, like they've not got much of an option. I got to change that contract. Sorry, I'm watching. I can see John in chat kicking off. Yeah. Oh, Wild straight up with a tap to the forehead. There, he takes a lot of damage in return, but it was more or less the double peek through that smoke as soon as it faded that started the ball rolling.
The ball is
tapping.
rolling. ER's winning all their fights, and it is just going to be the 2 players left, Infi and Malinov. Just Malinov, and he closes things out. I don't know how they recover that. ER falling around them, and it's just bodies galore. There's a cemetery there, Nick.
I'm not sure if you saw Tree with a knife out there.
Yeah,
from
I didn't
Malinov's
wanna say
perspective, I was like, I mean, I get it. Run out of ammo. You do what you can to get the damage out, right? That's the plan. You know, that should be the way forward with it. But
I mean,
yeah, you had 2 players.
You just don't want to trip him up, you know.
No, exactly. definitely not. Anyway, pushing swiftly forward. 12-4 is the scoreline. Baltic Coast obviously leading the way so far. I think there's a lot of learning from this game, at least away from Yar's perspective, of how they play the long game, and how they react to teams that are happy to kind of sit stagnant, you know, and allow the game to develop around themselves. I think that's definitely something that Yar will go back and watch over again.
I think this is such a a CIS-esque way to play, and it is perfect that we're seeing it from a Russian squad, because you think back to this slow style of play, and sure, they're not as slow as these teams I'm about to mention, but it gives you that kind of vibe from this region, and that's like the VP, the old school Gambits when they were led by Zeus, and that, even the old school Navis, even not so modern Navi, but recent memory Navi as well. Like, it is just that slow style of play that they bring to the server, and that's kind of something that ER needs to read into and kind of learn from and find out a way to answer against it.
It's a really difficult position to be in, especially if you're not used to playing against CIS teams. They do have that different mentality, that different kind of focus as far as how they play their. That was a nice tap there from Tree. Another one if you can. A third. Oh, Zyrex actually chimes in to help him out with that third. It's actually a really good round from Yard. They could convert off the back of this. Good utility usage, get themselves up into sight. just got to contend with Malinov.
That's such a strong adaptation. They, saw a pretty much repeat of the round in the previous, and that seems to be Baltic Coast's default when they get round control, just going for a bit more. It's not going to work out, but what will is Heiss's MP9, only for one though, and it's all on to Malinov. We've seen him clutch before, but he won't clutch this time, and that's a, well, much needed comeuppance from the side of ER. So far, I think that's a nice adjustment, and we need to see more of that from ER, but they're running out of rounds to make those adjustments.
Yeah. This is my time to say it more or less when we get to this sort of score line with Baltic Coast at 13 rounds. I mean, this is like every round is a must-win round from Yar. They have to convert. They have to keep converting those sort of rounds and not allow the distance to get so far ahead that they genuinely can't recover. Heiss is in a good position to take down Wild, but he's super low HP off the back of it. There's no one there to trade off it, so he can fade away after getting that tap of the Deke. He might actually be able to recover a weapon. I think there's no one around even to take the AK away from him. Yeah, I mean, this is a good round from Yar in the previous, and not the best of starts, but still they can convert off the back of it because they've got that good utility usage to work into a site.
Yeah.
They just need to contend with players like Malinov and like Nazi, kind of punishing them every opportunity they get a chance to.
Well, it was a B stack from the CT side. Seems like they're going to be cut down one by one. There's a couple of trades, and this is getting contentious. Yeah, they're able to stabilize, and they need to maintain that. But Treat, he's going to extend that lead, almost forfeiting his own life, and Cody will lock it in 6 for Yarn. This is nice. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
It's almost like they've been listening to us in the background, and they've suddenly realized, okay, they're playing very much CIS. They are. They're playing that different kind of genre. Okay, which teams combat quite well against CIS region teams, and the way that they play. Okay, let's try and mirror that in some way and see if we can, take a round or two back off these guys. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, Jammer. I just need to see more of it and quicker. A 5 stack of USPs, however, and they're all in a row, as you can see there through the X-ray.
I'm going to set up the analogy already that they're being lined up. It's just up to ER to knock them down at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 100%. How long... So if you're in this sort of position from a CT side, okay, how long do you stay all lined up in a row like that for? Well, 40 seconds is evident. 50 seconds, sorry, is when they do it, but it's got to come a point where you're like, they're not coming here, yeah?
Yeah, the game plan is just to kind of hold until you realize that they're definitely going to the other one, and that's, kind of guaranteed by the amount of utility usage over towards the other side of the map. Now, personally, I just kind of sit there and say, like, we went for a gamble. That's fine. It didn't work out. We can do exactly what they're doing right here, and that's set up to at least try and eliminate some of the players as they exit the site and try and get something, because one-on-one, a USP against any rifle, probably even any SMG, isn't going to work out. But if you've got 3, 4, X amount of players pushing together, then they can definitely counter a rifle because there's too many targets to hit. Not going to meet anyone, and they're just going to go aggressive, try and see if they can spot anyone else out. Nothing for them there, and at least they're not forfeiting, the kill money over TR.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably one of the weirdest rounds I've watched for quite some time, but realistically speaking, it's actually a really clever idea from Baltic Coast, to give themselves a bit of a better chance of fighting against Yar with better money, but also not feeding into Yar's, again, swelling bank balance. Yar can afford to buy up again after this round if need be, if they're not able to convert for whatever reason. Not a lot of utility on the side of Baltic, though, Jammer. They've put some of it to use to kind of get those early flashes, early smokes in play. Ooh, Tree took the entirety of that grenade.
Yeah, he's taken 2 grenades, and that's really good utility usage from Baltic Coast. They're even re-aggressing. That's a nice flashbang. Oh, he gets 2 off the back of it, and with middle control being seized by Baltic Coast, this is everything and more. Oh, Partners gets caught out as well. Zyrex and Cody G have possibly the highest task ahead of them, and that's eliminating 5 players in a 2 versus 5. And that's to keep their hopes alive. I'm not saying they'll be out if they lose this one, but the confidence takes a hit. But it's also letting Baltic Coast, extend their lead to 14, and this is a break round. If they win here, or if they can even get 3 kills, then that's job enough to eliminate some of the economy damage, but
Yeah.
they only get 1 kill out of it, and that's... I don't want to say it's not good enough, but it's just kind of an unfortunate spot to be in. Baltic Coast with a really nice reaction.
Yeah, played incredibly well into that round. I mean, they did... Yeah, they did everything right, essentially. They took that early aggression with their utility usage, and then immediately off the back of using that early aggression with utility usage, they forced the sort of issue by pushing aggressively after it. Securing the initial picks they needed to. Like you said, it then puts Cody and Zyrex on... Oh, well, never mind. I'm going to shut up for a second. Baltic Coast are just basically taking names at the moment. Cody G is the only players to really answer back as of yet there. Tree falls, but Cody's able to get a second as well. Heist is there to take on Parters, and it's a 1v2. And now we're 2v0. 15-7 is the scoreline, and we're at match point, Jammer.
Yeah, one of the things I did want to ask a while ago, actually, is, last season we saw the likes of Nova IGLing for the CR side. He's obviously not in the squad right now, so I'm curious to see who's taken up the mantle, and maybe it's one of the new players, maybe one of the old players, has decided, I want to take some more responsibility. I think I can do a good job. And so if they are just getting used to it, if they're just getting their bearings and trying to learn how to do this thing while having new players, then this is an understandable spot to be in, and it's not a bad scoreline, to be honest.
No, definitely not. That will be a question for John Randers, and I think that will be something I'll check in with him after. Who's IGLing for them? I believe they're still using Anders as the coach. If not, it would be... who is it? No, I don't think it is. Zyrex, there you go. Thank you, Wally. Wally in chat said Zyrex is IGL.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I don't know how much experience he has, but if he's going to build his repertoire up, these games where you take tough losses, but you've got some good ideas, are exactly the kind of thing that you need moving forward, and to kind of build your confidence as well as your playbook.
There you go. Waller and starter coach Anders GM. Wally, sorry, starter coach.
Well, seems like, they're going to take a 1-for-1 trade in this round. Slowing things down, trying to not succumb to the early utility damage as they try and fight for their life in this round. 8 rounds into the second half. And they've not had a bad showing, but this is kind of one of their last chance. Well, it is their last chance, actually, to hold off the relenting push of the Russians. You know what? I'm actually surprised at how willing these guys are to just fight and take the battles, take the 1v1s. It's going to be a 1-for-1. Okay, it doesn't matter. The Russians get the advantage in the man push, and it's a 2 versus 2. Cody trades to the AK, and the rifle's a lot more dynamic. 30 seconds left. Just waiting to see if there's any flank, but of course we know there won't be. Oh, that's a timely spray. Not going to connect, but I like the idea coming through. Cody needs to lock this in before the smokes fade, and he will at least tap the bomb. Well, they're not going to lock the bomb in, and suddenly they need to get the kills. Cody, he's going to push through. They're waiting for it, but he reacts and almost gets a second. Tree will convert, and there we go. Only one alive. Tree locks it in, but that was a nice move from Cody. And I mean, if he doesn't get that kill there, that's it. It's done.
Yeah, that's it. It's done and dusted. OT. Match pause coming in. Again, we don't know which team has called the pause. I'd love to be able to tell you, chat, but it's not something that we have access to. I mean, if it was you, you'd be calling it, wouldn't you, for Yar? I mean, you want to kind of have that little bit of a hit of sentiment to Baltic Coast. Pull the pause, give it a couple of seconds, break, bit of a gap, push on through afterwards. I don't know. I mean, what is your preference on these sort of late game pauses? Obviously, I know what mine would be, but what would your preference be?
I'll be honest, I don't use pauses as much as I should, but I really, try to focus on using them where, there's a scenario or a configuration that I just can't work out, or, there's a situation where I think, you know what, this is dangerous. I need to, temper someone's... Yeah, just measure the players Okay, doesn't matter. You know what? We'll just focus on the round. We'll come back to that. It is going
Yeah.
to be a couple of aggressive pushes from the Russian side, and they're going to be punished for it. It is just going to be Infi left alive. He got 1 kill, and that was onto Cody. I feel like he's had such a rough game today, but
Yeah.
you know what? His pain isn't going to stop quite yet, as they are set for a 9th. If they can get to 10 rounds, I would say that's a pretty good scoreline, considering how new and fresh the squad is. But yeah, I'm liking, at least some of the setups that are coming out. Some of the ideas are nice. Obviously, some refinement to come through, but that's always going to be the case. These new squads are not going to be used to playing around each other.
No, they're not. They're going to be again like the team will scrim together. They'll do their individual sort of practice after ESEA games and before ESEA games. But there's only so much time in the day to be able to do that. There's only so much time in the week to be able to do it.
Hmm.
And especially when you have quick fire games. I mean, like to use Baltic Coast as an example for tonight, Baltic Coast had a game an hour prior to this one, or an hour and a half prior to this one. So they've got doubled up tonight. Yar, for example, now have another game in 2 days' time, 26th of October. Then they have another game on the 31st of October. So they've got like 4 days separating, 5 days separating between that game. But then the week after, they've got 31st, they've got the 1st, and then I think they've got another game which is on the 3rd, if my memory serves correct. So like you've got little to no time to really kind of meld together as a team until you get kind of partway through the season. And at that point, sometimes in some cases or in some teams, it can be too late for you to really meld together, and to kind of get that, that kind of like teammate atmosphere.
Cohesion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm right there with you. It's hard at this tier of CS to get a consistent group together.
Hmm.
And consistent is really the name of the game. You can have 5 of the best players in the world together, sorry. But if they're consistently like dipping in and out and like, not sure whether they're going to be able to continue and so on and so forth, then it's a tough spot because you never really are certain about the people around you.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be constantly having stand-ins and stuff. And okay, well, this is a nice entry flash, actually. That's a really nice idea, talking of them. And it leaves things in a 2 versus 2. Now, Baltic Coast don't have armor, don't have kits, but they've been really crispy with their shots today. And that's all you need to be against any side in this ESEA, season. It is one of the lower tiers of ESEA. Oh, this is perfect from Wild. He spots both out, connects onto one. This is tense now. Nozzy needs to decide what to do, and this is a really good decision from Wild. I was worried that he might double down, overcommit right there, but he doubles back, and Nozzy, as a result, isn't going to rotate to site in time. It's, it's a flip of the coin, you might say, if
Yeah.
you're talking about it, where if Wild runs back and Nozzy hears it, then he can just suddenly scramble towards the site. If he gets a kill onto Potter, like he has done, then it's a tense spot. Taps the bomb, though. The smoke hasn't connected, and so Wild's a bit confused to what's going on, but he'll lock in the kill anyway, and that's a 10th round for ER. Returning to the point, though, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on it? Because I forgot what I was
Yeah.
saying.
I mean, I just to kind of roll it back for that one a second. He gets that kill on Departers. If he's a couple of seconds quicker getting that frag on Departers, that is Baltic Coast securing match point. Like that's the difference in it in that scenario. The smoke is not well placed, but I feel like if he's got that couple of extra seconds space in between him getting that frag, he's able to then walk on and get the next immediately straight after. Baltic Coast could have done it there, but yeah, I'll be honest with you, Jammer. I think at this point in time, Yara are holding on for dear life, which is great to see, and it's good CS coming from them. But I almost feel like,
Matter of time.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's too little, too late to really now go in. Well, we can do all this to pull it back. For whatever reason, auto director decides to go into third person at that point. But yeah, I feel like it's a little bit too late, too little, too late to do it. It's great to see them fighting for survival, but you don't really want to be fighting for survival for what I think it's 11 rounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, Baltic Coast, they won something ridiculous like 12 or 13 rounds on the bounce.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to be forfeiting that, it's such a tough task to fight back. But getting these rounds early on in the season, they might not mean much to us, and you might say, oh, well, it's all for naught, they're going to lose the match anyway. It
Mm,
really matters to the players of the
yeah,
server, because if they can put up respectable scores right here, they start to build confidence, they start to believe in the cause, and as an IGL, you can call a worst strat in the world, but if your players believe in it, and they're gonna, play behind it with the confidence to pull it off, then they can pull it off, though. Baltic Coast, they're rotating in so well, and this is a lethal round right here.
yeah.
Wild has it all to do. He's on the site, being wrapped from every direction, and it's, well, like you were saying, a matter of time. It always sneaks past, and he's going to get taken out eventually. That's going to be locked in. Baltic Coast, 16-10 to close out the second game of ER's ESCA season. Some good ideas, and some things to go back to the drawing board with, but all in all, not a bad start from ER.
No, not at all. I think you're right, exactly right in what you're saying. You start putting respectable score lines up, and that difference in rounds starts to get shorter and shorter and shorter as the season progresses. Yeah, it's good to see Yar performing the way that they did tonight. I have missed watching them, as weird as that may sound, and it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do for the rest of the season. I think you and I are going to be with them this week on the 26th. If I'm not mistaken, which is Tuesday. It'll be the night before I leave and the night before you leave, or you're leaving on the Thursday. I can't remember.
No, I'll be helping on Wednesday.
There you go. So me and Jammer won't be here, unfortunately, for the 31st game. We'll be at Epicland covering the Epicland CS tournament. I'll be doing stage stuff and everything else in between. But then we'll be back the week after for the first games of the new month, November.
Yeah.
My God, it's November next week, mine.
You know where these people can catch up on the scores though while we're not here?
Oh yes, definitely. They can check out. I'll let you do it. Go on.
Oh, okay. Don't forget to catch up with everything Esports Wales on their Twitter at Esports Wales, and you can catch up the scores that we're not casting on over there. And yeah, hopefully they do some great performances like they managed to do when we're not casting them for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to get involved in other stuff that Esports Wales get up to, gaming wise, they do a lot of sort of like grassroots level esports as well. Proving Grounds are massive within Esports Wales. Then you can actually join the Discord. Scroll down the page on the Twitch page. It's got a big icon for Discord. Hit that, and then you can jump in and play games with them and get involved within the community itself. If you want to know more about me and Jammer and what we get up to outside of doing Esports Wales things or within Esports Wales, you can follow us both on Twitter. I'm at ReaperSteve1, and Jammer is at Jammer_CS. Help your boy get to 1,000 followers before Christmas. 926 at the minute. Keep it going. Anyway, otherwise, though, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're going to bounce and take a well-deserved break, Jammer. Because you've had literally 2 of the busiest days I think we both ever had. But yeah, peace, take it easy, stay safe, and we'll see you back on Tuesday. I know what day we're on, I promise. See you Tuesday, Jammer.
See you.